Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing unit processing, so we're going to be confirming unit types from a supplier. So St. E's Maine uses Red Cross as their blood supplier, so we do this anytime we receive a shipment of red cells in. Every red cell is confirmed for the ABO type. So basically, and you'll see we're going to take a shortcut, but this is going to be like a forward type of our ABO. So first I need to make suspensions of my units. So these are my two units. I'm just going to do an example of two different types, but on your worksheet I want you to fill in the anticipated reactions and what tubes, what testing you would include, because there is some decision making when you decide how to test this, and we'll go over that. So I don't want to test everything and show you all the reactions, because then there's not really any decision making on your end. So on your sheet, the directions say if a unit is group O, so we're going to know the unit type, what it should be, based on how the unit is labeled. So we are just doing a type once the unit has been received into our inventory, just to confirm that, because we don't want to transfuse the wrong blood type. That is a big no-no. So this is just confirming that that labeling is correct from the supplier. So if you look on your procedure worksheet, it says if a unit is group O, we type only using a reagent called anti-A, B. So this is the reagent. This is what it looks like. So this reagent is going to detect both A and B antigens on the red cells. So for instance, for an O unit, we just have to use this reagent. We don't have to separate out the A and the B. And then the next thing it says, if a unit is group A, B, or AB, we have to type using the forward anti-A and anti-B both separately. So if you guys remember, anti-A, anti-B. And then down below, if a unit is Rh positive, we do not need to confirm the Rh status. But if the unit is Rh negative, we want to reconfirm that, so using anti-D. And the reason being, we don't want to give a patient the chance to form an anti-D antibody, so we really want to make sure that the unit is Rh negative, so that when we transfuse it into an Rh negative patient, there's no chance of them being exposed to the D antigen and forming that anti-D. So, but for an Rh positive unit, the only patients we're going to be transfusing those into are Rh positive people. So it doesn't really matter to confirm that Rh status. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make my suspensions of these units. And I'm just doing an O-pos unit and then an A-neg unit. So you're going to want to fill in your reactions next to those. So the unit number, if you want to write it down for the O-pos unit, if I can get this to focus. Okay, I'll just read it. It's W2-042-20-236-527. Okay, so that's what we're going to go by for this. And then the A-neg unit is W2-013-20-158-596. So if you want to write that down on your worksheet. Okay, so I'm going to spin these for 1 minute. For the other hypothetical reactions, you don't have to record a unit number, because obviously you don't have one. So you're just gonna go by the unit type that I have listed and decide what tubes you need to test and the anticipated reactions. And then your interpretation also, if it confirms that the unit is O-pos or whatever. So you would just put the type in the interpretation column. So O-pos, O-neg, A-pos, A-neg, etc. And then also put NT in the columns for the testing that you're not performing. So while that's spinning and getting ready, I'm gonna get my reagent set up. Okay, so for the O-pos unit, we only have to do one tube for a unit confirmation for an O-pos unit. So we're going to use the anti-A, B, and we don't have to confirm the RH status because it is RH positive. Okay, but for the A negative unit, I'm going to use everything. So I'm going to use anti-A, anti-B separately, and then anti-D. So that A, B reagent is only used for O units. And I just labeled my tubes with the last 4 digits of the unit number so I can make sure that I've got the right thing. Okay, so I'm going to add saline. Okay, so I've got my suspensions. So it's just 1 drop of our forward Antisera. Sorry, I'm moving the rack. And then 1 drop of our red cells. I know this is in the way. I'm just going to move this so you can see what's in the back. Okay, so this is my A neg unit. So it's just going to be 1 drop of the red cells to each of those tubes. Okay, and I'm gonna mix them up a little bit and spin them for 15 seconds. Okay, so if you guys want to record this reaction, this is for our O-pos unit that ends in 6527, and this is the A, B tube. Okay, so go ahead and record that reaction. So in that example, that is negative. But that is confirming that there is no presence of the A or the B antigen on that red cell unit. So we have confirmed that the labeling is correct, that it is an O-pos unit. Okay, so these next tubes, and I'm going to rock them all together, these are for our A negative unit that ends in 8596. Okay, so the first tube is our A tube, the second tube is our B tube, or I'm sorry, anti-A, anti-B, and then the third tube is our anti-D tube. So if you want to record those reactions. Okay, so those are the only two unit types that I'm going to do. I want you guys to go ahead and make some decisions as far as when you're using A comma B, when you're using A and B separately, and when you're using that G tube. So I've listed the rest of the unit types, or the ABO types, on the sheet. So go ahead and fill out the reactions that you anticipate based on the type, and then fill in that interpretation as if it did confirm the unit labeling. So yeah, this was an easy lab. So that's the end of our processing blood from outside suppliers. So go ahead and watch. I'm going to upload a PowerPoint voiceover like I did for the last dry lab, so review that information. I'm going to cover some more specifics about this and some other stuff too. So, and there will also be questions I'm going to make up for this lab too. So make sure that you're answering those questions and using that PowerPoint to answer those. So, okay, I will see you guys later.